Well, it's time now to celebrate the art and the food and the heritage of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. The 33rd annual festival is next week in Dumbo. Here to tell us more about it are Chen. He's the director of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Festival, and Carson Tang, the vice president of events and corporate relations. Welcome, both of you.
Hey, thank you for inviting us, Chuck.
You bet. Stephen, what is the mission of the festival?
Sure. The mission of the festival is to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander identity and all the accomplishments that this community has had, as well as the good work that the community organizations we work with do throughout the year.
But Carson, when you approach something like this, when you're organizing a festival like this, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish?
My goal is to see how many people we can impact, how many lives we can change by what we bring to the festival. So we have to look at the bottom line, not as far as numbers, but how we can intrinsically improve people's lives.
So what are some of the special things you do to try to make that happen?
Well, this is based around bringing awareness to the achievements and the contributions of Asian Americans across the U.S. So here we bring the arts, the cultures. So we have artisans, we have artists, as well as performers and nonprofits providing services at the event.
Who are the people behind this festival?
It's entirely nonprofit based. So we have representatives from different community organizations we work with. We have over 100 different nonprofits we work with reps from each one that help us produce this event.
This has been going on for 32 years. This is the 33rd
33,
year.
yeah.
33. This is number 33 coming up right now.
Is.
How has it grown over the years?
I think that what's grown over the years has become more of a national unit. So what we've done is we've also networked with other events similar to ours across the nation to make sure that they have the same resources that we have developed over time.
Have you seen interest in it growing and crowds growing over the years as well?
Yeah, we've definitely seen sort of a more collaborative effect. So increasingly so, we find folks will come out and support us, and we hope that trend will continue this year.
Now, you guys have a bit of a beef with the city, don't you? about suddenly wanting to charge you for holding this thing in a public park.
Well, what has happened since we began, it's a free event that's outdoors, and we started doing it, and we're in charge for the space, just for the use of the space. And over the years, in the past few years, the rates have gone up from $0 to about $30,000 for using that free space for a free event.
Yeah.
So it's become problematic for nonprofits to utilize space that accommodates the over 20,000 people that we attract to the event.
Sure, but the space you have in Dumbo now, is that a pretty good deal?
It's a lot less expensive. There's some nuances to that, so I'm not sure whether it'll work out, but it's something we can afford. And it's due to the shared sacrifice of the nonprofits helping sharing the cost, and for sponsors such as Macy's that help us out in paying those fees.
Why is this event important to the Asian community?
Sure, it's a day of celebration of where Asian Americans get to see sort of, I guess, the sense of community and the things that they accomplish together. So this year we have multiple pavilions, including some centered around career growth. We have some centered around health and human services, around family resources. It's kind of like the saying that if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, like, what does it matter? It's the same identity that we have here at the festival, is that these nonprofits do so many great work for this immigrant community. And if no one knows about what they do, then they can't utilize those resources. You also have my old friend and colleague Chang involved in this, don't you? That's right. We're very
lucky to have some other big
him.
names. Yeah.
He was at our press conference just last week at the Rubin Museum.
It's great because we've seen him over the last decade plus, from when he was a news reporter and a single guy to now a beautiful family. Bringing his family to a press release was really fortunate for us.
Yeah, that's great. So how can people get more information and find out how to attend the events and what's on the agenda?
We have a website. It's www.capaonline.org, which is CAPAONLINE.org.
And we should underline the fact, you mentioned it earlier, but this is free.
Completely
right? There's
free.
No admission charge.
It's completely free, and we have 25 artists, artisans, and performers, dancers, from Bollywood accent dancers to Polynesian dancers, lion dancers. And that's in addition to the free events we're doing over for Ellis Island, the National Monument, a week before, which is this weekend. So we have things going on there as well.
Okay, that's exciting stuff, and we appreciate you coming in and talking about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
We'll be right back with more New York Nightly News. Stay with us.
It's all about being there for you. News for New York at 5.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job,
I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance.